we are Jeremy Sackett and Adie Ray. You can take a guess as to who is who. So we are about to kick off this award ceremony, and I cannot tell you how excited I am about all of this. Sharing all of our findings and sharing this data publicly is incredibly important to us, and we have to acknowledge all of the people who helped make all of this possible. So thank you, cultivators, thank you, judges, thank you, all the organizers who are here to celebrate craft cannabis with us tonight. Thank you for all your work. So we're going to summarize some sort of high-level findings before we start digging into the details. So I'm going to turn it over to Jeremy for a moment.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. So we talked, Adie's going to go into a lot of detail, but one of the interesting things that we found around aroma, looking at the way that aroma data was collected through this process, it was collected in two different ways. One of those was with trained ag evaluators, the SMART Squad, that had a standardized kind of review, a blinded review of all the product before it went into the judge kits, and that was what was the aroma intensity that you saw on the posters there. The aroma likability data was provided by the judges in the judge kits. What we found that was really interesting around the aroma intensity, which would be the pungency of the aroma, it did not correlate with the total terpene percentage of the cultivar. So, for example, the durian fruit, shows that a very small amount of something could be very pungent and potent. So it was really interesting to see that there was little or no correlation whatsoever with those that were the highest terpene percentage, total terpene content, with those that scored highest in the aroma intensity part of the evaluation. It definitely shows that there may be certain compounds that are more pungent, or combinations of those compounds together that provide more of a pungent aroma intensity. Just really interesting stuff that came out of that piece of the work. So I'll let Adie expand a little bit more.
So the next thing that I wanted to talk about briefly is potency. So, we have had a lot of our cultivators saying, like, I have these really beautiful flowers that are between 14 and 18% THC that I just can't get to market because they are really difficult to convince the retailers to buy them. And even the consumers say, I'd love to enjoy a whole joint of this, but I can only take one or two hits because it's too potent, it's too powerful. So there seems to be a choke point right in the middle at retail where, there's a great amount of monetary value placed on those very potent products and less monetary value placed on the lower potency products, which disincentivizes the cultivators to keep, making those beautiful plants. So if we look at the top 10 most enjoyable flowers in this entire competition, 70% of them had less than 20% THC. So I understand, being a former reformed grad student, I understand value, getting the most for your money. But when we're talking about getting the most for your money, let's talk about getting the most enjoyment for your money, not getting the most THC for your money, because enjoyment and THC by this data set are not correlated. So before we kick things off, I do want to start with a very special acknowledgement of all of our judges, our extremely diverse group of judges, which we very thoughtfully, invited to participate in this to be ambassadors for the consumer. And our judges are more diverse than ever, and they truly represent the Portland metro area. And I'd like to invite Savina Monet up to the stage. Up until this moment, I only knew Savina by her judge number because this is a double-blind competition. I don't know I don't know what the judges got. They don't know what the judges got. I don't know who they are because it's a completely anonymous data set. So this is really what separates this event from any other evaluation or cup out there, is it's truly unbiased. And thanks to this unbiased nature, we can reveal things like the value or lack thereof of THC potency. So as a token of our appreciation, Smart Cannabis would like to really especially thank Savina and all of those other ambassadors out there. We have this beautiful thing that we can do with all of the judges' feedback, which is to see how they responded to all of these different cultivars, put all of that data through our affinity algorithm, and determine, based on Savina's responses, what other kinds of cannabis she's most likely to enjoy. So Savina, you didn't have this cultivar in your kit, but our affinity algorithm predicted that you're really going to enjoy Proof cultivars, Golden Haze. Thank you for all your work. So this kind of evidence-based, personalized recommendation is exactly what we would envision for the future of all consumers, to have a rational decision-making process to be able to know for them what is the best kind of cannabis, what's the best fit for them. And for Savina, it's Proofs. So next we're going to welcome Alex to the stage for our next award.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Alex Tinker. I'm the co-chair of the Cannabis Industry Group at Tonkin Torp. We're an 85-lawyer firm here in Portland that was the first among our peers to embrace the cannabis industry. We did that because we recognize this industry is essential to Oregon, and that Oregon's industry is essential to the global cannabis industry. Yeah, take some credit. That's worth applause. I also serve on the board of the Resource Innovation Institute. We are a 501c3 nonprofit gathering and promoting best practices in resource use within the industry. And it is my pleasure to present this year the Resource Innovation Institute Energy Innovation Award, recognizing a cultivator that has demonstrated innovation in resource efficiency practices. With that, we will roll the video introducing the winner.
I'm Derek Smith with Resource Innovation Institute. We're excited to present the first ever Energy Innovation Award in partnership with Cultivation Classic and sponsored by Tonkin Torp. The Energy Innovation Award is a complement to the Regenerative Farm Award in that we are celebrating farms that are in controlled environments that are creatively figuring out ways to cut their energy footprint.
To be sustainable isn't just growing the cheapest weed possible. It's about your philosophy and how you actually take what you're doing and make it better and more efficient, whether it's from a labor perspective, a soil management perspective, a harvesting perspective. In this world of cannabis, specifically in Oregon, it's super competitive. There's so many great growers out there, and to stand out, I mean, you really got to check all the boxes. And when we went from the medical days into the rec days, I mean, we had to either move or figure out a way to kind of maximize our canopy. And really, that's where the inspiration came from. And that's where the innovation actually came from too, because we were put up against a wall saying, if you don't innovate, you're gonna die. You know, the idea is basically to be able to actually reduce your BTU usage, but increase your productivity in the garden, you know, by yield. That's the goal. I mean, you want to be as sustainable as possible without sacrificing quality.
Our goal has always been to grow indoor cannabis in the least amount of energy as possible. We're using automation wherever possible to eliminate labor. We've located ourselves in Portland, Oregon to service the majority of the market in Oregon to save on fuel delivery costs. We have energy recovery wheels in our HVAC units that allow us to get the benefits of the outside air cooling without bringing outside air into our grow room. The video interface you were seeing is an offshoot of the control system that is required to do this kind of level of HVAC. Just a simple thermostat and humidistat don't cut it.
Ultimately, we believe that consumers are going to value this information and knowing more about the source of the product that they're enjoying. And so we want to build a system that's recognizing those who are leading and those who are most efficient and showing the way for the future.
So
Derek
with
Smith
that,
with
oh, just kidding. With that, I'd like to ask for a round of applause for runner-up Y East Gardens. And a big round of applause for this year's winner, Deschutes Growery. And it's my pleasure to introduce Justin Klapik.
I don't see you guys out there, but you guys look good. Yeah, what up, guys? Well, the guys that know us know that we don't do competitions, but this is the Cult Classic. I got some notes here. I'm just going to read them off. Looking at the Sustainability Award, I see winners all throughout the audience here. We're all doing our best to, sustain in an environment that's really tough. And whether that's just building a simple compost pile and with your scraps or going full nutso like we've done. Our mission has always been to inspire others to reduce their carbon footprint while producing high value crops. I hope that, at next year's event, a few of us out there will carry the torch and make serious sustainability progressions that makes Oregon the leader in all things cannabis. I want to thank everyone who's nudged us to enter. It wasn't easy. All our retailers who support us. I know a few of you are out there right now. And my team back home, they're actually the real all-stars here. I'd like to say one final thing here, that the cannabis plant is an amazing thing. I've been surrounded by it for the last decade. And through my experiences with thousands of different varieties, that these plants ultimately choose us. It would be crazy to think that we have control over their complete expressions, and for that reason, it would be foolish to think we could exercise ownership over it. Plants choose us, we don't own them. Godspeed.
Yeah. Hello, cannabis community. Thank you to all the sponsors, volunteers, and participants who have helped make this plant that we all love gain a little more legitimacy and a little more attention and love. And a big thanks to Willamette Weekly and Step Barnhart. I don't know how you do it, and you're a gift to us all. From the first inaugural Cultivation Classic, when Alter Farms won our first cannabis award, handed down from Congressman Earl Blumenauer, I have had the opportunity to be a speaker on this stage, to sponsor this event, and to judge, and to win first place twice. Every year we look forward to this weekend, to seeing all of our friends that we have made in this very hall. It's quite an amazing thing to be surrounded and supported by all of you. So tonight I am more than honored to offer an award to someone else, to stand up and say that we are farmers at our roots, that we got our hands in our soil, that we are learning every day, growing and observing from Mother Earth. So thank you all. A quick reminder for tonight for producers. If you hear your name called, for bronze or silver, please remain in your seat. If you hear your name called for gold, please come to the stage. So, all right, for bronze, focus north, now and later. Yeah. For silver, Rolling Stones Farms. For Wedding Crasher. And for gold, this terpenoline dominant cultivar was the most energizing of all the flowers you'll see on stage tonight. 9 out of 10 judges picked up on this citrus-like aroma. The winner of the supplemental light category type 1 is Can Essentials!
Thank you so much. It's really awesome. We really appreciate this, and we love being part of this community. You are all awesome, and we definitely want to just create the change that we want to be the change we want to see. So let's do it.
And thank you guys. And I just want to thank, we have a small team of dedicated employees who are really our family now, and we wouldn't be able to make it through the incredibly hard seasons that we've had, that you've all had, without a core group of people that have stood by us and really been there for us. So kind of broken up about it. I gotta say, we got a killer team. They're up in the back there, and Darla here, and Kate, and of course Shane, everybody, and Kaylee's back there, and also who else is, and Colby and Alex are back there. And I just want to say, we're leaving, but we've done this with very little money and just a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and we've won twice. And I just want to tell you, don't need millions and millions of dollars. You just got to do something the right way and be in harmony with the earth and be right, be good.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Sussman. I work at Willamette Week. We're thrilled to put this event on. And I just want to say, my mother used to tell me that whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So for those of you who do this for a living, you're a lot stronger this year than you were last year. It's been we're aware it's been a really challenging year for the industry. You've survived. You're going to make it. We're thrilled to do what we can to help promote and celebrate. And so I'm just delighted to be here. In any event, in the category of supplemental light, type 3, bronze. Truly organic, is it organic, for Harley Sue. For silver, Yerba Buena for Corazon. And for gold, to quote one of the judges directly, this was the most beautiful of the samples. It smells like Flintstone vitamins, and it tastes like fruit. This cultivar is well-rounded in terpenes and also contains the minor cannabinoid CBDV. The winner of the supplemental light type 3 category is Yerba Buena for Blue Dragon Desert Frost.
I just want to tell you a little story about this cultivar. It is so special to me because I was working with a patient who has all kinds of social anxiety issues among a number of other physical issues. And she was asking me to find this cultivar for her for years. And we had no idea where to find this. And it actually comes from Telluride, Colorado, which we can't bring into Oregon, obviously, because OLCC. And so this patient went to this farm and trimmed and brought back one seed and handed it to me and said, "Will you please grow this for me?" it was female, and this is what we got. So.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. We love her too. She's amazing.
Good evening, Rip City. All right, Blazers are up. My name is Ryan Rosenfeld. I'm with Green Force Staffing. I have the honor of presenting the winner of the Supplemental Light Type 2 category. For bronze, we have Ideal Farms, Green Farms with the Queen. For silver, Bull Run Craft Cannabis with the Light Me Up. And for the gold, the notes are, this cultivar has a pungent aroma and represents a balance of action and relaxation. The majority of judges reported it go well with light activity, light yoga, hiking, walking the dog, and beating the Golden State Warriors. The winner of the supplemental light category is Deep Creek Gardens, Dynasty Genetics, Huckleberry Web.
Thank you. No, it's been a pleasure to work with so many Dynasty Genetics great strains, and the Huckleberry Web has been such a blessing to work with. It's such a unique cultivar that we're so proud of. We want it to be in every shop in Oregon because it's just that amazing. But we couldn't do it without this amazing crew, and yeah, thank you.
All right, good evening. My name is Mark Lewis, and I'm the co-founder of Pearl Labs, where we're putting rocket science into the hands of flower lovers everywhere. That's right. We've reinvented the lighter to eliminate the smoke, flame, and ash, and you can turn any pipe into a high-performance convection vaporizer. It's phenomenal taste without the annoying apps, lids, chambers, and other things that can get in the way of your experience. So you have complete control over your vapor using just your breath. So with a little bit of practice, you can vapor surf the entire spectrum of compounds, from those light floral notes to those rich, deep, nuttier tastes closer to the pre-combustion point. So if you're a flower lover, check out pearllabs.com for a special discount using the code CULTClassic for a 20% discount. So we are very, very pleased to be able to sponsor the Terpene Awards tonight. So let's get to it. For the Terpene Intensity Award, this fragrant terpenoline dominant cultivar had nearly 6% terpenes by weight. 2/3 of the judges reported that it would be great for socializing or talking with friends. The 2019 Terpene Intensity Award goes to Trichome Farms for Black Widow. I also have the pleasure of announcing the Terpene Diversity Award. So moving on to this award, this one is for diversity, meaning that this is a recognition of an entry that had the expression of the most distinct terpenes that was not myrcene dominant, okay? Yeah, excellent. So this sun-grown cultivar was the only competing flower that contained every single terpene Cascadia tested for. That's something, that's impressive. The judges described its aroma as intoxicating and like key lime pie.
So this award for terpene diversity goes to Alter Farms for their Fire Runner. Let's give it up.
Hello, everyone. I'm Adi Ray from Smart Cannabis. So I'm going to be presenting the next 3 awards, which are very near and dear to my heart because they are entirely based on the data. Of course, I'm the scientist, I'm the nerd, that's what I care about. So the very first one that we're going to talk about is the credible cultivar. So the credible cultivar is the one that produced the most consistent effects across all of the judges. So I'm going to show you some data here, and just orient yourself to the axes. So the higher up the dots are, the more people disagree. So the lower the dots, the more they're all like, yeah, we agree. And the farther you go out to the right, the more they like it. So down there in the bottom right corner, click, slide. Down there in that bottom corner, you'll see one happy little tree that everybody likes and everybody agrees they like it. Click. So now we're looking at the relaxation effect of that same cultivar, and sure enough, everybody agrees that it is relaxing. Click. There it is, same guy. What's really interesting about this cultivar is that, next, if we look at how sleepy it made people, it falls right in the middle. Click. Right? Falls right in the middle. Nobody really agrees that it's particularly sleepy or not, which is important to know because it is extremely high in myrcene. So based on this data, it looks like myrcene makes you feel relaxed, but doesn't make you feel sleepy. So that's really important to keep in mind because there is a common understanding amongst consumers that myrcene is going to be, the sleepy one. When it looks like it's relaxing, but it's not necessarily sleepy. So the winner of this year's Credible Cultivar Award is Ebb and Flow Farm, Go GDC, number 1. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Last year we won with the Go GDC 2. This is the Go GDC 1. This is a 1-to-1. Last year was a 2-to-1. So this is an amazing cultivar. Thank you so much. Yeah.
We get more feedback from customers about this one specific cultivar. People send us messages all the time saying that this is really good medicine for them. So it means a lot to have that. Being in the adult use market, we get a lot of people coming back and saying this is really powerful medicine for them. And so it's one of the best things about being in the adult use market is getting that feedback from patients that need it. So thank you.
So our next category is Ladies' Choice. I am so excited about this one, you guys. It is truly remarkable. So my colleague Neil Svem and I sat at my humble kitchen table in my kitchen to put together all of this data and truly identify objectively which of these flowers are truly extraordinary. And I was literally running around in my kitchen clapping my hands over this. So can we have the slide, please? So what you're looking at is males and females and non-binary individuals who enjoyed a flower and agreed that they enjoyed it. So if we look at this first one down in the corner, these are the females. We see that, everybody likes this one, and they agree that they like it. But if we look at the males for this same flower, next, they're right on top of each other. So this isn't the lady's choice, this is the people's choice. And you'll see this reflected later on in the award show. This is an outstanding cultivar, everyone likes it, so it got an award. But if we look at the next most preferred cultivar, not the people's choice, but let's look at the next one that females really like. Next, this guy. And if we look at next, the same flower for males, you can see that there's this huge sex difference. The females all agree that it's really enjoyable, and the males said, meh. So what's driving this? Next. It turns out this is more appealing in both its effects and its aroma. And I am incredibly proud to say that this year's Ladies' Choice Award is a very pungent flower, equally versatile for indoor and outdoor consumption. Our judges reported that this cultivar was good for yoga and snowboarding and sex, cozying up to a fire. The 2019 Ladies' Choice Award winner is Proof Cultivar, Astralworks.
Okay, that's a tremendous honor. One thing I just want to say personally has been a mission that we talk about till the end of time and have spent so much time. We will never, oh gosh, let me say this. What matters is that we serve the world and that this plant is not just for somebody. It's definitely not just for 21 to 45-year-old white males. This should go everywhere and in all places, and it is such an amazing honor to be able to serve communities that are underserved, and that definitely includes women, and we are very grateful to be a part of that force in this team. Yes!
I just want to say that I was the person in charge of the crop when we very first sprouted this flower, and it thank you. It has been an honor to work side by side with the team at Proof Cultivar and to create the change that we're trying to see in the world for the cannabis industry. And I really hope that you look forward to the work that we're about to come up with next, because it's an honor. This is amazing. This is such an honor. Thank you.
Tiny last thing, that was a plant that was bred from the work of Ringo from Sulphur Seeds, the Harley Sue, and the TH1, which I did a line breeding for, and I want to be most grateful for somebody who's passed, who made this work possible. That was Ringo.
So if anecdotal evidence means anything to the people in this room, I can also attest that this is my personal favorite cultivar of all time. Thank you. Thank you. Well done. So the next category is a very unique award which has never been given before and is totally based on the data, because we just happened to discover this in the process of analyzing all of these beautiful cultivars. So the next award is for the nose. Slide. So for those of you who are not intoxicated, I'm going to throw up some statistics. There they are. We're looking at correlations here. So the first correlation we looked at was, does euphoria drive the overall enjoyment of a flower? You bet. If it makes you happy, you're gonna enjoy it. So we happen to notice that there's one happy little tree that is both high in producing euphoria and being enjoyed overall. Next. So the next correlation we looked at was, if it smells great, are you going to enjoy it? And sure enough, there's a really nice correlation there as well. And the same happy little tree up in that corner. It smells great, and people like it. So the next correlation we looked at was, if it smells great, does it cause euphoria? Which is kind of a stretch, but there's a slight correlation there. But sure enough, we have that same guy up in the corner, lady. Smells great, and it's well correlated with feeling happy. So for a long, long time, we've heard the nose, and there is definitely some value in, ooh, this smells amazing, and I think I'm going to buy it because it smells great. And that may set up the expectation that you're going to enjoy it. We found that overall, in this whole data set, aroma is incredibly important, not just for this correlation of liking it and feeling happy, but if you don't like the smell of it, you're probably not going to go home with it to begin with. So this year's Nose Award is the most euphoric of all the winners that you're going to see on stage tonight. Had universal appeal with men and women, as you saw on the last slide. Very pungent and appealing. It was statistically correlated with both happiness and overall appeal. The winner is U Green Farms, Tropicana Cookies.
Tropicana Cookies, that's some smelly stuff. When you crop it, all you can smell is the Tropicana Cookies. Doesn't matter how many strains is in the room. I think it's got 1% terps, just like they said. It doesn't matter how much percentage it is. Sometimes certain terps stink, and this one does. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah!
Good evening. My name is James, and I'm a co-founder at Sana Packaging. My business partner, Ron, and I are thrilled to partner with the team from the Regenerative Cannabis Farm Award, powered by the Emerald Cup, to present the Regenerative Cannabis Farm Award at the 2019 Cultivation Classic. For those of you unfamiliar with Sana Packaging, we design and develop differentiated, sustainable, and compliant packaging solutions for the cannabis industry using 100% plant-based hemp plastic and 100% reclaimed ocean plastic and other sustainable materials. When Ron and I started Sana Packaging, we weren't seasoned packaging professionals or material scientists. We were passionate cannabis consumers frustrated by the amount of waste that we were seeing in the industry. And we knew there had to be a better way. And more importantly, we knew that the packaging we saw in the market didn't reflect the values of the cultivators growing these beautiful plants that bring so much joy to our world. And that's why we're so excited to partner with the Cultivation Classic to present this award. And we might all have different opinions on what, makes the most sustainable or regenerative product, but I know that everyone in this room can agree that our traditional take, make, and dispose economic model has only led to scarcity, volatility, and unaffordable pricing. And I know that everyone in this room can agree that we need to transition to a more circular economic model, a model that's meant to increase economic, environmental, and social capital by designing out waste and pollution, keeping products and materials in use, and regenerating our natural systems. And to my last point about regenerating natural systems, I think we can all agree whether we're growing hemp for bioplastic or other industrial applications, or cannabis for medical and recreational use, that it all starts with the soil. And looking out at this room, I'm filled with hope, not just for the future of the cannabis industry, but also for the future of regenerative agriculture and sustainability at large. So before we reveal this year's finalists in winning regenerative farms, it's Cultivation Classic tradition to pay tribute to the winner from last year with a video. So please help me in congratulating last year's winner of the Regenerative Cannabis Farm Award.
We like to look at our farm like we're speaking wine speak, like this is a vineyard. This is our terroir. And so these plants are growing on this mountainside in the native soil, completely exposed to the elements. My name is Matt Dolinar, and I'm a co-owner of Pilot Farm. Some of the things that I feel sets us apart from other farms is, you saw earlier, the broad fork that we use. That is an important tool for us. Our goal is to not turn the soil, but to slice it. And so it loosens up the soil and doesn't turn the top layer underneath and bury it underneath. These plants are really feeding off this environment and this terroir. Not that we're stressing them, so to speak, but they're really adapting to where they are. Not only are we making seed every year and planting those new seeds, it's part of this ground. It's become, they're in this ground right here, and they're rooted in it for many months. Yeah, so it's real important for us to respect what's around us. The animals, the wildlife, and part of that respect comes in the form of us not putting anything toxic out that would harm them. The flowers that come out of this farm, we feel like our customers can really get a sense without knowing why. There's something special, there's an enchantment about it. One, they're gonna smell terpenes they might not have smelled before because of our natural environment here, unique to this land. Like, once again, I use the wine speak. Is a bottle of special wine that you got from a particular vineyard is special because of that vineyard. And we like to say the same thing about our cannabis here, is that it's special because of this farm and the way and the people and the animals and the soil and everything we do here to bring that flower to the customer. By having this Regenerative Farming Award, it's attracting people to do the best they can. For one, it's holding us accountable to everything we say we're going to do, and why regenerative farming can be simple. It doesn't have to be some thing that somebody might not understand, because it really is that simple.
Give it up once again for Pilot Farms. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the two compassionate, dedicated, and relentless individuals who have helped move this effort forward since the first year of Cultivation Classic. Jesse Dodd of BioVortex and Dan Marr of High Tide Permaculture.
Wow. Well, give it up for Pilot Farms again. How about that soil? Did you see how beautiful that was? We got to go there and put our hands in that soil and see how rich it was, and see the humus stains in the cracks of our hands. And man, just a beautiful spot. They're starting their plants under the sun. It's seeds cracked under the sun, right into the native soil. Beautiful soil that's built up from oak humus and the natural environment. And the flowers they produce are beautiful. The soil is incredible. So one more time for Pilot Farms. And I have to say, it feels amazing to have a sponsor like Sana Packaging bring us out. Like, how cool is that this is what they're diving into, that this is the thing that they're dealing with. The packaging issue right now is insane. The amount of waste that we're producing from a plant that we love, that's supposed to bring us with connection with the planet, with the earth, with ecology, is creating all of this waste, and it's not what we want to do. So the more that we can find solutions to that, the better. Thank you for everyone that's working on this problem. And let's change the regulations and let's to represent the planet in the best way. And wow, so it's kind of an intense moment right now because we had actually just lost a member of the regenerative cannabis farming community. If we could put that picture up too, Spencer of Lion Power Organics was killed about a month ago. There's a memorial tomorrow down in Klamath by his farm. But he was one of the winners of the Emerald Cup Regenerative Cannabis Farm Award, and his connection with animals and food, and just the sacred connection between respecting your food, how it's produced, the sacrifice the animals give, and creating the energy from the life cycle of those animals and producing plants and other food and medicine and cannabis from that. He's a beautiful soul, and I want to give a moment of silence for him, if we can all do that right now. And I'd like to actually hear some words just from his mouth, and if we could cue up that video.
In order to provide us with that nutrition. We as a society have like an enormous waste issue, as we all know. And I've read that the food industry is responsible for more greenhouse gases than the cars that we drive. And we as homesteaders, farmers, and consumers have the ability to change this. If you take anything away from this little presentation, I hope it's a desire to raise your own animals and to respect your animals and really just become connected with the food you eat and love it as much as you love your hazes and your cushes. I know not all of you will have the opportunity to raise livestock, but even as consumers, you have the ability to influence the world around you.
That's
animal
perfect,
husbandry
yeah.
started.
Thank you. So the best way to honor Spencer is to think about your relationship to your food, to your community, and how you can support the farmers that are bringing that to you in the most ecological and thoughtful way. And yeah, just respect the animals, the plants, and the farmers that bring you that food, and support them in any way you can, and honor his memory in that way. So he was a winner of the Emerald Cup Regenerative Cannabis Farm Award, and it's just amazing to be able to do this in California and be able to do this in Oregon and be able to tour these farms and see the incredible practices and the different ways that these different farms have adapted and excelled at certain things that they're really good at. Everyone has something else something special about that farm that sets them apart and that we learn something new about, and it changes our conception of what regenerative is, and this whole award that's based on permaculture, it's based on ecology, but it's a constantly evolving thing. And I want to thank the Emerald Cup too, and Tim for giving this amazing platform for consumers, for the world, to see these farms, to see the amazing practices that are happening, the carbon sequestration, the soil building, the food production, the integration of animals, the watershed care that happens when farmers really care about their landscape and what they're producing. And so I want to bring Tim Blake out here from the Emerald Cup just to say a couple words. And
thank you. It's wonderful souls like Spencer that really make the Emerald Cup and Cultivation Classic what they are. And you know, I love coming to well-run, classy cannabis events. And outside of the Emerald Cup, my favorite one is the Cultivation Classic. And you guys just do a great. Steph and Jeremy and Jesse, everybody just do a great job. And I love your bud too. I love the Oregon flowers. You know, 15, 16 years ago when we started the Cup, I'm really proud that it was always organic. But you know, really, we were all most of us were using, you know, bottled fertilizers and bagged soils. To see it 16 years later move to where Jeremy well, Jesse and Dan and the rest of the team are just moving regenerative farming to the forefront. We saw the media really crave that. What is regenerative farming? What's going on here? And nobody has an idea or clue what's going on in traditional agriculture. So it's really wonderful to see how much we can do to lead the way, not only in cannabis, but in agriculture across this country and across the world. So I'm really proud of what they've done, and I'm proud of all of you too. Thank you.
Today's full moon invites us to focus and understand things on a deeper level. And it's the Regenerative Cannabis Farm Award that provides us with the privilege of meeting these land stewards and touring their farms, which has shown us that there is no difference between friends and family, environment and economy, and compost and soil. Regenerative cannabis farms demonstrate that through observation and integration, all systems can obtain abundance, both ecological and economic. With some self-regulation, diversity, valuing the marginal, and producing no waste, we can achieve resilience by responding to change with slow, small solutions. The Regenerative Cannabis Farm Award is not designed to demonstrate the polarity between agricultural systems, nor is it designed to award one farm with a higher status over all others. The Regenerative Cannabis Farm Award is designed solely to share information and inspiration that will hopefully create more resilient communities, economies, and environments. We believe that how we cultivate cannabis, how we treat and value everything within and beyond the cultivation area is directly related to not only the quantity, but more importantly, the quality of the cannabis that is grown. And we would like for you to hear from the farmers themselves now.
Yeah, regenerative cannabis farming to me is growing cannabis outside in the sun, in the native soil, with inputs sourced from the farm, not creating a huge footprint, making the soil better, making the land better, building community on the farm and in your neighborhood. You're bettering your environment, you're bettering your surroundings by thinking more about it and being in touch with nature, being in touch with what's around you and caring about it.
Being mindful, I guess, is probably one of the best words of how you impact the environment is really important to us and your community at the same time. There's
each other.
Yeah, and each other. It's just all around just trying to be a lot more positive and give back as much as the earth gives to us. Especially not being wasteful. That's one of the biggest parts of I think the importance of regenerative to me is being able to utilize a lot of things that would naturally be thrown away.
It seems like that's what the plants would choose. If they wanted to grow, it seems like that's what this is the things that the plants would choose.
If they were at a buffet of farms, they would choose regenerative, natural,
kind of thing.
Full plate of that. Yeah.
For sure.
The knowledge is one of the biggest things that we can spread as a farm, is how we do what we do, what we learn while we do it, so that the whole industry can grow and become more sustainable and knowledgeable. Here in particular, we have the farming aspect of regenerative, where we're trying our best to have a lower impact and treat this land with respect and, be good stewards while creating a product, which is hard to do because you do need inputs to create that, and there's just things that go along with it. And so to be regenerative, I think we just want to, do as much good as we can.
Regenerative farming to me is looking at your entire system that you're involved in and your downstream influences and understanding your position in that. Taking the time to create systems that you can then step back from and let them manage themselves, and you do the maintenance work, but it's very system oriented, and you create those systems in order for the ambient sun, water, and soil and life that's already wants to be there. You let them thrive.
We see regeneration as not only remediating the earth, but remediating the people on it who have been oppressed. Even though it's a hard conversation to have, the reason, we've been through a lot. I have been incarcerated. We've had to struggle and hustle our way to be here, but ultimately, Like, a lot of us own land because we're white, and I think it's really important to like be regenerating the communities and bringing more inclusivity to the white male dominated industry. We hope to see the regenerative movement really spread its roots into the social justice movement and realize how it's all connected.
Thank you, Laosa, for putting together that incredible video. And now, it is my honor to present the Regenerative Cannabis Farm Award to Lane Creek Hemp Co.
Thank you guys so much, Jesse, Dan. It's really impactful what we can do here, and it's kind of our responsibility to take it into our own hands and understand our impacts and just be accountable, and then, you know, make the right decision. Thank you guys so much.
Let's give it up for Lane Creek one more time.
Yeah, I'm Daniel. Family in 2017, and Zach and I have known each other since 2002. Coming in and just doing some rotational grazing and some other techniques and perennializing and just breaking it up into different systems that are better utilized at different times of the year. Just seeing the changes that we've made with fencing and animals and just managing has been really stark. And taking the hayfield and turning it into our hugels has been a really easy transition because of the network of the soil lens is already intact, and we did very little disturbance. The functionality of transitioning from a really productive hayfield into hemp production on a long-term scale has been really a fun project. Soil lens would be just the native soil that's already existing. So layering the spent straw and the wood chips, and then just uphill from that bed, you just take the topsoil and you add it to the carbon that's already there. So you're creating a low spot that pacifies the water, and then you're creating a higher spot where you're actually planting, and then you're softening those edges with carbon so that the water, when it comes in, it pacifies and it seeps through, and the goal is to get all those roots down through all that into that water layer so that, you know, by the time the cannabis or the hemp is finishing, their roots are so down deep into all of that energy that they're just really able to utilize the end of the year sun. And so that's why the planting in the hugels is so great.
Once we got them into the hugel mounds, they took a life of their own, and one of the biggest benefits that I noticed about that was our ability to dry farm them for 2 months during flowering. We found that by turning off the water right around Labor Day and letting them go for 2 months, we were amazed by not only the size of some of them, but the nose that came out was amazing.
Our soil makeup is introducing whatever we can to create as much biodiversity in there as possible. Lots of just potatoes, you know, garlic, just whatever we can get growing to break that soil up. And it's essentially, you know, we would eat it, but we only eat maybe 5% of it. The rest of it's just planted so that the insects in the soil can eat it. And we're finding that there's really no bad plants or bad bugs in there. And if you just trust in it, you just trust that everything's going to take care of itself. It really will. Just starting a bunch of projects essentially, and then tending to them is kind of what we do. So it's been a great journey of learning about the land. Just so blessed to have a canvas like this with so many opportunities to play with. And so, yeah.
How beautiful is that? So, man, the way they understand energy and the way nutrients flow and water flows and the integration of animals on their property is just incredible. And being here today, after some of the negative issues that have happened in the cannabis community as of late, it just feels really good to be with everyone and to hear all the good work that everyone's doing. And I think in the community, what we need to be doing is the work like what they're doing on their land. We need to be working mutualistically. We need to be building each other up. We need to be moving energy in positive ways to get the most out of that, to get the most thriving from an abundance from that. And I see that happening today. And it's just amazing to see the science, to see the artistry, to see the farming, to see the love and the care that everyone here puts into the community and to the plant. And I just want to celebrate that and thank everyone for doing that and being a part of this. And let's outgrow the negativity with positivity and the destructive parts of big ag, we can outgrow it with love. So big round of applause for everyone here and being a part of the positive movement in the cannabis world. Thank you.
Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Arubako Basi. I am a biochemist and Director of Manufacturing at Plant Labs. That's PLNT Labs, and we're headquartered in San Francisco. Plant Labs is a small, vertically integrated cannabis company that has a team that includes big thinkers, engineers, scientists, focused on addressing problems in the automation of cultivation and full spectrum extracts that first focus on the flower. But to kind of layer on a point of the previous speaker, it is a time of flux in the cannabis industry, and continued mainstreaming is, bringing on and attracting traditional institutions. However, very refreshingly, I feel like it's events like the Cultivation Classic that really reaffirm my very strong belief that these traditional academic, pharmaceutical, and corporate interests really have more to gain from our attentions and expertise than we have to gain from theirs. And it's important that when you work together, you do see on that lens. To take a page from the old Silicon Valley, the early computer industry, we need not seek external validation from the same traditionalist sources that refuse to see the value of cannabis in the first place. Instead, you, the renegades that built this industry, need to be the ones to control it to the end. That's why we're honored to be able to present this award and support like-minded industry leaders that Plant Labs has an enormous amount of respect for. So, without further ado, I can get to the envelope. All right, it's very exciting because it's the first year that the Cultivation Classic has included hemp in the cup. And since judges were blind to their samples, evaluators did not know if they had hemp or other kind of cannabis in their kit. So let's go ahead and open the envelope. For the bronze award, we have East Fork cultivars with Oregon guava. For the silver, we have OM Shanty Farms, LLC, with Electra. And for the gold category, judges agreed that this was a sticky flower that ticked a lot of boxes. Euphoric, relaxing, facilitating focus. It looks like a good one for productivity, and judges reported it paired well with creative tasks, cleaning, cooking, and computer work. And the winner of the hemp category is OM Shanty Farms, LLC, with Suver Hayes. Moving on to the next category. The next category is sun-grown type 2. For bronze, we have Alter Farms with Pineapple Thai CBD. For silver, we have Phantom Farms with Mighty Quinn. Multiple judges commented that this flower was perfectly cured, and despite very high myrcene levels, judges uniformly agreed that it was not at all sleepy. However, it almost uniformly produced a relaxing effect in the judge's mental state. This outstanding cultivar and the winner of Sun Type 2 is Ebb and Flow Farm with Goji DC number 1.
I wouldn't normally talk, but I just want to say that all these cultivars are like our children, and we love them, and I'm so proud. It's really good medicine, and I'm super honored because this event, it really does bring out the best in what I think this industry represents. And I'm super honored. I don't know, really. We couldn't do it without everybody that's supporting this. And there's so much blood, sweat, and tears, literally, that goes into this. And we work hard every day, 7 days a week, always. And to be here is really hard to leave the farm. So this is the one event that we will leave the farm for. So thank you.
Moving on to Sun Type 3. It's the last categories of the night with sun-grown categories, and we'll start with Type 3. Let's open that envelope. For bronze, we have Sisikayu Sun-Grown Sour Tsunami. Siskiyou, my apologies, thank you everybody. For silver, we have East Fork cultivars with AC/DC. And for gold, this was a very unique beta-ocimene dominant cultivar. The majority of judges said it would go well with relaxing activities like watching the surf, zoning out to music, showering, and watching TV. And the winner of the Sun Type 3 category is East Fork cultivars with Blue Orchid.
Thank you all for your good values, good intentions, and loving you, family.
Okay, wow. We've made it. I have a couple of fast remaining announcements, and I'm first wondering if Justin or Jesse from Lightscale Labs is in the house. Are you here? Okay, last chance. If not, I will present this final award on the behalf of our partner Lightscale Labs. Going once, twice. Justin, Jesse. Okay, I'll do it. But first, I want to make sure to acknowledge the really hard work and major collaboration that did go into this data poster installation, and give a special major shout out to our dearest friends at Hemp Press, John and Eugene. Thank you so much
for all of the arduous back and forth that went into those posters. I hope you all really appreciate them, and we would like you to take them home. So courtesy of Smart Cannabis and Hemp Press, tonight, if you would very mindfully and respectfully, gently take off the poster that is only yours, posters that are only yours. They're adhered with sticky tack. Please be just mindful, and I know it's a narrow hallway, so if you can take it, great. I would love for as many of them to be gone and not to mail them to you. Again, sustainability. So please take your posters with you. They're yours, and we are so excited to present them to you. What? Okay. Last announcement. There is an informal after-party gathering happening at the Zipper building on Northeast Sandy. The bar is called Pay Dirt. I told that to someone earlier, and they said, yeah, fitting. So please join us at the Zipper building on Sandy if you are able. I don't know what the score of the Blazers game is. Someone have an update? Okay. Here we go. Last award. Let's go home. Okay. I'm going to present the award on behalf of Lightscale Labs, who participated this year by offering a really exclusive and super cool VIP tour of their laboratory on Friday as part of partner events. Love working with them, and in their stead, we'll crack open the envelope for the final category of the night, Sun Type 1. Bronze winner, Green Source Gardens Coffee. For silver, Frontier Farms Cuban Links. And for gold, to quote one of the judges, this is the one. From the very moment I saw her, I knew she was something spectacular and special. Judges loved the look of this purple bud and were able to tell by scent that it was terpenoline dominant. The winner of Sun Type 1 category is Alter Farms Purple Wildfire.
Yeah, that happened. Woo! So the Purple Wildfire was given to us by a very dear friend. This pheno was hunted rigorously. You got to see the Terpene Diversity Award being given to her daughter that we've been breeding for 2 years. This strain has had very little recognition in the marketplace. It's been a hard one. It is amazing. It's amazing. But sometimes when we attach that number to what it is we're purchasing, we don't see the value. So this is that example right here. She's phenomenal. So thank you all to everyone. And as Alter Farms has apparently continued to say every time, thank you for loving our flower.
Thank you and good night. Please travel safely, everybody. Take your poster if you can. We deeply appreciate you. Good night.